Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. A very warm welcome to all of you in Ask Among series. In this series, we try to take up all the questions of the devotees, and there is one question which is the theme of the day. And today's question is, what is black magic? So what is magic? Srila Prabhupada was asked, Prabhupada, can you please show us some magic? So Prabhupada told, magic is meant for fools. Magic means something which you are not able to understand. So usually people, when they try to follow spiritual life, they want to see some magic, something which they are not able to understand. But there is nothing called magic. Magic means some sciences, some laws which we are not able to understand very clearly. So there are two kinds of magics which we are not able to understand by a regular perception. One kind of magic is simply the trick of hand. There is nothing mystical involved in it. They call it technically riddhis and siddhis. So some technical mischief which some magicians play on the stage. They are cutting the girl in two halves. So actually nothing is being cut. There is no mysticism involved, but simply it is a trick, some gross arrangement. They will make a rat appear out of their hat or a pigeon out of their hat. So this is simply trickery of hand. But there are few magics which involve some subtle sciences, and that is called siddhis. So our Vedic scriptures are full of such examples. But as some people were asking, Prabhu, please tell us some practical examples. So let me share some practical and very recent examples with all of you, live examples. So there was a boy who was staying in our folk residency. Folk residency is a place where the youngsters, young bachelors follow the spiritual rules and regulations as per the recommendation of Bhagavad Gita, along with the regular studies or work that they are doing. So this person got diagnosed with kidney stones, and the doctor suggested to go for immediate surgery. Now surgeries are successful or sometimes they are not successful. Somebody suggested him to visit a woman who was having a special skill in removing the stones without any surgery. So he told, okay, let me give it a try. He went to home, and close to his place where he was living, there was this woman. And this woman simply put some, it was dough, means a mixture of flour and water from which we make chapatis. So the dough was put over the area on the stomach, on the side where we have kidneys. And she chanted some mantras, and the kidney stone is out. And then he goes for diagnosis the other day, and the report is completely clean. There are no more stones. So he was very pleasantly surprised. And our IIT alums who are living with him, they also got surprised. What is this science? So without any surgery, without anything, simply putting some dough and chanting some mantras, and the stone has come out. So yes, there is a practical thing which we have seen. It has happened in my life also. When I was in second year of college, I finished the second year. Then there was a summer vacations of 2.5 months, and I was on an internship. And it would be on around 5th day of the work that I got affected by jaundice. And I had to leave the work and I returned home. So somebody suggested a quick solution. They told this person is there and he gives you something to eat and such magical stuff and you get cured. I was not having faith on such things back then. So I told, no, what is this? I don't believe. So we have good doctors. We had some very good doctors. We approached them. And I was hopeful. 2.5 months is a long time of vacations. I'll get cured in a couple of days, if not weeks. But the vacations finally came to an end. I am supposed to go back to my college. Now I am completely hopeless. How will I start my studies in this situation? I am not able to get any taste in food. I am feeling so much of weakness and so much of dizziness. Finally, I thought, okay, let us give this person a try. It was time to board the train, and just before boarding the train, I visited this person. He gave me pan with something inside to it. I do not know what was inside. And he told, please take this and it will fix it, everything. So I took it anyway. Eating pan is harmless. So I ate it. I boarded the train. And in no more than what I remember, 2 hours, 3 hours, or even lesser than that, my jaundice was completely cured. Something which was incurable, I was trying to visit the doctors and take all the syrups and medicines. It was showing no signs of improvement, 2.5 months. And within hours, couple of hours, less than that, it got completely cured. There is no weakness in the body. I am getting taste in the food. There is no fever. Fever has also gone immediately. So this is called magic. And there is another live case. Some of our devotees got a contact of a person who has got some siddhi of curing toothache simply on phone calls. Now, please don't ask the contact. So they thought, okay, let us try. So many devotees sat and waiting, let us see what happens. And they made a phone call. 2 devotees are having toothache. And this person simply asked, on which portion, where are you having this toothache? And they told it. He chanted something, mantras. And in no time, just over the phone call, he asks, how is the toothache now? And they are surprised, toothache is gone. So this is called magic. And this, obviously, it is a science, some laws of nature, which we do not know. Like Sanjay, he is able to envision what is happening on the battlefield, sitting along with Dhritarashtra far, far away from the scene of fight. But this is also a science. It appears to be magical, how within his heart he is able to see everything which is happening far, far away. So these phenomenon about which we do not have knowledge by direct sense perception, we call magic. Now this magic is of various categories, and one category of magic in which people worship ghosts, evil spirits, pishachas, that is called black magic. Why black? Because black represents ignorance, tamas. As Lord Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, urdhva gacchanti sattvastha madhya tishtanti rajasaha jaganya gunavrittisto adho gacchanti tamasaha. If you remain in the mode of goodness, you go to higher planetary systems. If you remain in the mode of passion, then you may take birth again on this planet. And if you remain in the mode of ignorance, then you go down to the lower planets or lower species of life. So different people take to different kinds of worships. Those who are in Sattva Guna, they may worship various devatas, demigods, who are ministers of managing universal affairs. And Lord Krishna mentions in 25th verse of 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Yanti Devavrata Devan. If you worship the Devatas, Yanti means you go to the Devatas where they are living. Pitran Yanti Pitravrataha. Some people are very much attached to their forefathers. They go to their forefathers, ancestors. They live on Pitralok. If at all they are living on Pitralok, those who are very much attached, they go to that planet. But some people who are tamasic, in the mode of ignorance, they want to do some worship so that they can destroy, do harm to others. This is the nature of a person in Tamoguna. Tamoguna means destruction. So such people worship ghosts and evil spirits. They worship bhutas, pretas, pishachas. So Krishna mentions, Bhutani yanti bhutejya. Ijya means worship. Bhutani yanti. Yanti means a person goes to bhutas. He goes to the planets where the evil spirits live, the bhutas live. So those who worship ghosts and spirits, they go to ghosts. Those who worship demigods, they go to demigods. And those who worship their pitras, ancestors, they go to their ancestors. And the most wise person who worships me, yanti madhyajinopi mam, he comes to me. So just like the devatas have got real existence, they are having a form. That is why they are able to control the affairs of the universe. The Pitras also have got a form. The Bhutas also have got a form, although it is very subtle. Similarly, Lord Krishna also has got a form and his place. And Krishna is telling, Yanti madhyajino api mam. Those who worship me, they come to me. So people who are in Shuddha Sattva Guna, they are able to worship Krishna because they understand Krishna is my eternal relative. I need to go there. That is my happiness. Those people who are in Sattva-guna, they worship other devatas. Rajoguna, they may worship their family members. And those who are very tamasic, they worship pishachas, spirits. And this kind of worship is done usually to inflict harm upon others. And Srimad Bhagavatam also mentions, like Putana, she was very, very expert. There are many kinds of evil spirits and female witches, and one such witch is Putana. And this witch called Putana, that is a category of witches, they are able to travel in the space. That is why she is addressed as Khechari in Bhagavatam. Khe means space, Chari means they can roam, they can fly in the space. So there is a science by which one can fly on a broken branch of a tree. So this Putana, we see, she was very expert in killing children by practicing this black art. But such black art, it is also mentioned in Bhagavatam, cannot act in the place where the holy names of Krishna are chanted. Similarly, in the 10th canto again, I think in chapter number 65 it is, or 66, there is a king Sudakshina. He also wanted to attack Krishna, his kingdom, with black magic. So he, along with such priests, performed a very fierce demon. Fires were emanating out of his body. He, along with hundreds of ghosts, attacked Krishna. But wherever Krishna is there, ghosts cannot do anything. He got very much disturbed by the presence of Krishna's potency. And a very special feature of this black magic is, if it doesn't act upon the object, then it comes back and destroys the source itself. Because this power is created for destruction. Tamoguna means destruction. Lord Shiva is in charge of Tamoguna. That is why he destroys the universe at the time of annihilation. So when he was unable to do anything to Krishna or his family members, he went back to the king and destroyed the king along with the priests. So those who are able to have faith on the Vedas, then everything is very, very clear. But still people want some live examples. Have Prabhu, you experienced sometimes something? So yes, we have experienced many times, because when people are in difficulty, they approach us. Because when all the means, regular medicines have failed, regular sciences, technology has failed, then they seek faith in the supernatural. So there is a devotee, and when he was very new, when he newly came in touch with the movement, so one day he called me up and he shared this problem. He had just taken admission and he is also alum of the same college, few years junior to me. I was by that time a brahmachari in the temple. So he shared, Prabhu, I have this serious problem in my family. I told, what is the problem? How can I help? So his relatives, I guess they were uncles, or one of the uncle. So he became very, very envious because his family was doing very good. He was there in a prestigious college. His brother was having a nursing home. Other brother was having business. Father was having nice shop. Nice business was happening. They all were prospering very nicely, and they were not able to prosper well. So they wanted to do some harm. It happens in many, many villages. When people are tamasic, they want to destroy others. So they started doing some kind of black magic on their family, and they started feeling some disruptions in regular affairs. Then one day they approached them and they told that you are facing so many problems, so we want to do some puja for you, some yajna we will do. After that, all your problems will be solved. So this other boy who is there studying in the college, please call him also. He should also sit, so that whatever negative influence is there, it should be washed away. All of you should become happy. They told, well. So they called him and he agreed because they thought it is some good benevolent act. But he became little late. And when he reached home, the puja got finished, the yajna which they were supposed to do. But all his other family members, his father, mother, two brothers, elder brother's wife also, they were all sitting. And when he reached home, he was very much scared to see his family members. His family members were not in normal shape, and The eyes were completely different. Their voices were completely different. They were not identifying him at all. And as we see in the horror movies, he got completely scared. Who are these people? What has happened to them? And then after that, everything collapsed in their household. And this incident happened around 10 years ago. So everything in their house started collapsing. They were not able to continue their businesses, their works, their shops closed down. And the brother is sitting in the shop, somebody is coming and asking for a product. He knows that somebody is asking, but he's not able to move himself, move his hands. And everything collapsed. All the businesses, all the work collapsed. And they started fighting very bitterly. There were always arguments in the house. Very bitterly, they would fight with each other. And in this way, the entire family got completely possessed. So this boy, somehow he was saved because he was little late. Actually, that yajna which they did was this tamsik yajna. It was meant to destroy them completely. So he got saved somehow because he could not make it on time. So he told Prabhu, what do we do? So I told him, no worries, you please call them here to the temple. So first he called his, they were 3 brothers. So he called his elder brother, and who was unmarried. He came to the temple, he stayed for a day. He attended entire program very nicely. If you are aware of our programs, we start our day with Mangal Aarti in Brahm Muhurta, 4:30 in the morning. So he came, attended the entire morning program, 4:30 to 9:30 in the morning. Then we chant harekrishnamahamantra 16 rounds. Then we have another Aarti and Kirtan, Guru Puja. Then we hear Srimad Bhagavatam. In this way, he attended the program. Then he attended the afternoon Aarti. He chanted very nicely, stayed entire day in the temple. Then the evening program. And then next day he's fine. And they had tried, meanwhile, all the methods. They went to so many exorcists, so many people who claim, I will give you relief, so much money, lakhs of rupees they had spent. First of all, they are not having income, and the money is getting flushed into all these remedies. Nothing was working. And simply he came here for one day and he was cured. So the parents also became very hopeful. Parents also came. And mother, father, they also came, attended the program. They also chanted 16 rounds Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and they also got cured. And the villagers, they are surprised. Villagers are talking, you people were so badly haunted, you are going everywhere, nothing was working. So how come suddenly one day you went somewhere and you are fixed? Even if you go for a remedy, it takes some time. So then the mother got so much impressed by the process that the boy told, my mother is always carrying now chanting beads in her bag. Wherever she goes, anybody asks that, please tell me what worked for you. So she immediately takes out chanting beads and tells, you also chant 16 rounds every day of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. You will also get cured. So in this way, entire family which was suffering for a very, very long time got cured by taking shelter in the holy name of Krishna. So like this, various arts are there. So this is one example. Like this, many examples are there. There was a boy who later became a brahmachari. He was not a brahmachari that time, but he was following Krishna consciousness. And he was staying in a place with his friends. And in the middle of the nights, 2 of his friends, they were 3 together sleeping in the same room. His friends wake up in the middle of the night and shouting very badly, completely scared. And both of them, they had the same dream. In the dream, they had a witch. They saw a witch. This incident happened around 11 years ago. So they saw a witch in the dream, and this witch was pulling them, dragging them. And the same witch was seen by the both, and immediately both of them got scared. And as they woke up, there were marks of nails on their hands. Both of them were carrying the marks, and they got very much scared. What is this? But then this other person, devotee, he was not having anything. He was sleeping in the same room. So they told, you are following this Krishna consciousness, you are chanting, you please sleep in the middle of us. Otherwise, we will not be able to take rest tonight. So many such cases have been there. I can just keep on narrating. There are so many instances where Some people tell it could be mental hallucination, something, but there are some other cases which we have seen where people who are haunted, they speak different language altogether. Person who doesn't know even the basics of English, he gets up and he starts speaking English. Person who has never spoken Urdu starts speaking Urdu, although he is having some other South Indian language as mother tongue or Hindi. So person cannot be expected to learn overnight a language. So all these things are solid facts. The Vedas are mentioning, Lord Krishna is mentioning in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is read by self-realized souls. Bhutani yanti bhutejya. So that is why we need to understand that we are not the body. So those people who get very much frustrated with life, they think, and those who are not aware of this knowledge, they think, let me leave this body, let me commit suicide and I'll be happy. So when they commit suicide, they are not able to get next body because this body is destined to live for certain number of breathing cycles. Our breathing cycles are fixed. So before that period, if you give up the body, then you will not be given another body. The same desires will be there which we experience now in the body, but you will not have a body to fulfill the desires. We will feel thirsty, we will feel hungry, we will feel to enjoy the sexual pleasure, but there is no body to enjoy eating, mating and all such pleasures. Thus sometimes they capture people who are not advanced in spiritual life, who don't follow the regular standards of cleanliness. They keep themselves very dirty or dirty habits. They eat tamasic food stuff, meat eating, they are into intoxication, tamasic lifestyle, they are late, sleeping late in the night and all these things, into drugs, intoxication. These people who keep themselves dirty or in dirty habits, intoxication, meat eating, and such negative tendencies, they easily get haunted, captured by these spirits. And those people who are following the devotional practices very nicely, the spirits are not able to affect such people. But we have to be pure in our practices. If there is impurity, we are not, that is why Prabhupada would mention 16 rounds and 4 regulative principles. So if you are chanting 16 rounds, following very, very strictly 4 regulative principles, then we will not be affected by such things. Where there is Sattva-guna, these powers are not able to exert any influence. And we have also seen the cases. So when there was struggle for the temple in Juhu, there were some people who were very much against it. And there was a tantric. And this tantric was very, very famous that time, 70s, when people were having, the cars were very, very few. Few very rich people only had cars. And many, many cars in the 70s would line up outside the home of this tantric. He was so expert. And he was trying to put all kinds of impediments when the devotees were taking temple here in Bombay. And one day this tantric got suddenly burnt for no reason. So we could understand he would have tried to harm the devotees, and devotees very nicely following Krishna consciousness, the powers went back and destroyed that person only. Similarly, another person was trying to harm some of our devotees who are practicing Krishna consciousness very nicely. And then this person has become very badly haunted. He also was trying to follow Krishna consciousness, but somehow got bewildered, became rather antagonistic. And then he tried to harm the devotees. Now this person who wanted to harm by using black magic, he wakes up in the night and he's shouting the entire night. He's seeing some crows and some other ants and insects crawling on the floor, which nobody else is seeing, only he's seeing. And this way he's having sleepless nights. Some other people also who wanted to try on the devotees who are very, very strictly following, hearing Bhagavatam every day, reading Srimad Bhagavad Gita, following 4 regulative principles, 16 rounds, honoring only Krishna Prasadam. So such people also died suddenly. And many such cases we have seen. There was a case even in the time of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is our grand spiritual master. So at that time, because he was a magistrate of Puri, and in Jagannath Puri there was some scandals, and the king was involved in that. So he told, you have to return all the money, otherwise I will not leave you. So this king wanted to harm Bhaktivinoda Thakur, that I have to remove this person, trying to become too honest, trying to shake my position as a king. So he got some priests engaged in these black practices. and he organized a yajna, and the purpose of that yajna was to kill Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And Bhakti Vinod Thakur is a pure devotee of Krishna. He was following his regular practices, worshipping Krishna very nicely, preaching Krishna consciousness. And it was a very elaborate performance because it was meant to kill. So sometimes these black practices, they harm your health, they disturb your mental situation, they disturb your financial situation. There is miscarriage for women. All these things, they happen. There is loss of business, loss of studies, education. But to kill, it is very serious business. And he wanted to kill Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So when he arranged this elaborate performance on the final day, when the final offering was supposed to be put into fire, after putting that offering, Bhakti Vinod Thakur was supposed to die. As soon as the offering was put, immediately the son of the king died on the spot. So these are all practical things. These are recorded in the history. And today also many such cases are there. So thus this is called black magic, worshipping the ghosts and evil spirits to destroy other people. And people are not able to understand. Sometimes they think it is psychiatric problem, psychological problem, but Prabhupada mentions many of the people whom you see in the asylums, people tell that they have gone mad. Actually, they are haunted. So this madness is induced many times by the ghosts, by the spirits, and people think there is some neurological disorder. But many times it is a cases of being haunted. But there is no difficulty. Now, Prabhu, what is the solution? You are scaring us. So yes, it is a very serious issue. Sometimes when we see some people who are doing very nicely in their job, education, they suddenly fail miserably. And serious disease sets in. The reports would be very clear. They will not be able to detect, but the health will get more and more worse every day. And the person is not able to sustain life. Another recent case, one devotee was telling me, one person got affected by it. And so he shared with me two instances. One is his personal instance in the family. His father also was into very nice business. They had nice showroom, electronic showroom. And his uncle was envious how they are doing so well. So father was doing so nicely. And he did something, and immediately father's business started failing. He started sleeping around 15 hours a day, and he started remaining very agitated, always angry, shouting, fighting, not able to do the business. If you try to approach the shop, you would faint. These things happen. So when the black magic happens, it also happens when a person is trying to approach the place of worship. They faint. They are not able to do it at times. Or your place of work, when you approach, you faint. You are not able to carry on with your work. So he was not able to carry on with his business. And the finances started dwindling. And he developed a stomach disorder. They went to everywhere, all the hospitals, best hospitals. They are not able to detect anything. But he's having severe stomach disorder. And this went on for many, many years. Finally, after a long time, they went to many places, nothing was happening, they got a person. And then immediately did something. And he also told that who has done this. He told, in your family member, this woman is there who belongs to this place. And actually they immediately identified that it is this person, this lady who is our relative. And she actually belonged to that place. So they are so powerful, sometimes they can figure out who is the person who belongs to which place. He has done it upon you. And then he told, now we have fixed it. Now even if they do in future, you will not be affected. His father vomited immediately without eating anything, and all his stomach problems got resolved. So for around 12 years he was suffering, and immediately it got resolved. So thus these are the practical evidences. We cannot turn a blind eye to it. But unfortunately we have no faith in the Vedas. So Vedas are telling you are not the body. You are spirit soul. There are good spirits, there are bad spirits. So the same devotee told this in another case also, where one of his cousins, he was affected by very serious disease. And he was coughing blood, and they thought it is tuberculosis or something else, but nothing is working, no medicine is working. And he was suffering for almost 3 months or more than that, and they thought he would not survive. Then somebody suggested, It seems like somebody has done some black magic. Please try to approach for a solution. Then he went to a person and he told, no serious issue. We'll fix it immediately in one day. And it got fixed. Now he's back to work. Although the diseases, the gross changes which have happened in the body inside, it is healing. But he's back to normal. Otherwise, he was bedridden completely. Clueless. So in this way, many such cases we have seen. Enough ample, I can just keep on speaking. So many numerous evidences are there. So we have to understand in this world, many things are there which are beyond our comprehension. But in order to protect ourselves, we have to follow Krishna consciousness very nicely. Some people who are hardcore atheists, they started believing in God because when they saw this negative power is there, then definitely there should be some positive power. If ghosts are there, then demigods or gods also should be there. Negative energy means there should be positive energy. So in this way, sometimes it is Krishna's mercy, sometimes it is our bad karma. But we have to understand whatever is happening in our life, any suffering that is coming, it is only because of our karma. Some people like doctors, they are expert in these subtle sciences. They can cure or remedy, they can remove such evil spirits. But if it is in our karma is bad, it can haunt us again in this life or in future life. Ultimately, we have to understand this point that no suffering happens. This we discuss session after session because people do not know what is the real cause of suffering. The real cause of suffering is our karma. Unless we get rid of our karma, either ghosts will haunt us, black magic will work on us, or we'll meet with an accident or ghostly people, envious people in our office, in our workplace, or in our household. They will disturb us. So disturbance will come in our life, either by natural, supernatural, normal, paranormal effects. But all the disturbances happen only because of our karma. So the solution, immediate and ultimate also for all such instances, is taking shelter purely of Krishna consciousness. Karmani nirdhati kintu cha bhakti bhajam. When we engage in serious devotional service, then we get rid of all such influences. So even if somebody tells, no, I need not do bhakti, I am not affected by such things. So scriptures again mention, actually all of us are affected. Anybody who is living in this material world, actually everybody is haunted. How everybody is haunted? Pishachi paila yena mati channa hoye, maya grast jivya se dasha upajaye. It is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Just like Pishachi Paila, when a Pishach captures a person, Mati Channa hoye, such a person is bewildered in his memory, in his intelligence. In a similar fashion, when we are affected by the material energy, we act like a haunted person. So we are actually haunted. These Panch Mahabhutas are there, earth, water, fire, air, sky. They combine in a unique way. Sometimes they give us a man's body, woman's body, dog's body, pigeon's body, hen's body, rat's body, snake's body. And we, as spirit souls, forget ourselves, our relationship with Krishna. Sometimes we become antagonistic to Krishna. So when there is such haunted case, effect of black magic, the haunted people become envious of their parents, their family members only. Like this, we become envious against Krishna. Who is God? Where is God? There is no God. Either we want to kill Krishna, like Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksh wanted to kill, if we are powerful enough, or we want to write such philosophies. And by such philosophical writing, we want to kill the existence of Krishna. He is simply some energy. He is mythical person, or he is not God, he was a historical person. We want to deny the actual status of Supreme Personality of Godhead to Krishna. In this way, directly, indirectly, we want to forget Krishna, attack Krishna. So all of us actually are haunted. We are thinking, I am a man, I am woman. This is not a fact. We are spirit souls. We are unaware of our identity. So we can see through these cases, there are living entities who exist without this body, this gross body. And that is called spirit soul. So we are that spirit soul. But haunted by these 5 elements, Panch Mahabhut, we start thinking, I am man, I am woman. And then I am struggling very hard to attain something in this material world. I am struggling very hard to avoid few situations in the material world. We have to understand there is no need to endeavor like that because this life is temporary. The purpose of this life is not to worship bhutas, not to worship pitras, not to worship devas, but yanti mad yajino pimam. Krishna makes a clear distinction in Bhagavad Gita between devta worship and Krishna worship. Those who worship devatas go to devatas, and those who worship me come to me. It means there is a distinction between Krishna and the rest of the devatas. Because Krishna mentions Tad Bhavati Alpamedasam, those who have less intelligence, they worship devatas. Because devatas, they are also having this temporary post position. You go and live with them. After that, devatas also will come down to this planet, take up other forms. So you are eternal. Why do you want to suffer this repeated birth and death, getting haunted with different bodies life after life? We get body of a dog, then helplessly we'll be forced to act like a dog. We get body of a pig, we'll be forced to get attracted and eat stool. In this way, we are helpless in our desires. Only in human form of life, we have little freedom. And if we follow Krishna consciousness, surrender to Krishna, then we get more and more freedom to the point that we get liberated, completely unaffected by the laws of nature. And in that consciousness, if we leave the body, then we go to Krishna. Just like the bhutas have got their planets, Krishna also has his planet. Krishna is telling in 9th chapter, which is called most confidential, most secret knowledge. Krishna also has got his place. So people do not know this is the aim of life. So this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells, Jiva jago, Gaura Chandra bole. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling, wake up sleeping souls, wake up sleeping souls. So the soul is actually sleeping and dreaming, hallucinating. Sometimes it thinks, I am the son and daughter of these people. These are my children. This is my nation. In next life, it is in different species with a different haunted concept of this body. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells, please wake up from this haunted situation. Kota nidra jao maya pishachi rakole. This material energy is compared to pishachi. Which, how long, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells, you will keep on sleeping on this lap of Maya, illusion which is haunting you with different bodies. It is a fact. Our situation is exactly like that of a haunted person. So how long will you keep on remaining in this haunted situation, having hallucinatory aim of lives, having forgotten me, your real relative? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells, I have got remedy. En liche oshadi Maya nashi baro lagi. This Aushadhi medicine I have got, by which the illusion of material energy will be destroyed. And what is this medicine? Harekrishnamahamantra. The medicine is this Harinam, Harekrishnamahamantra. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is requesting, please chant this Harekrishnamahamantra and liberate yourself. Stop this process of repeated birth, death and so many concomitant miseries. So we need not worry from black magic, from ghosts. If we are having great faith in Krishna, everything depends upon faith. Faithfully, with purity, strictly, if you follow rules and regulations, we will be protected. And rather, we will be able to protect other people also. So thank you so much for listening. Now, you can start posting questions. Yash ji, Sonali ji, Santosh ji, Kumar ji, Professor S, Hare Krishna, Hemlekha ji, Sandeep, Hare Krishna, Shripad ji, Hare Krishna, Shubham ji, Smita ji, Ayush ji, Anjana ji, Krishan ji, Yogesh, Harnam ji, Mohan ji, Shashikant ji, Ram ji, Thakur ji, Hare Krishna, Anju ji, Purnima Mata ji, Hare Krishna. Okay, Prabhu, chanting 16 rounds at one sitting or at interval during the day, please explain. I have explained previously. If you keep iron rod in fire continuously, it becomes fire-like. You put it, remove it, put it, remove it. It will never attain the desired result. So, yes, somehow if you are able to finish 16 rounds, it is very good. But if we chant continuously, then we get spiritualized because of constant touch with Krishna. So please try to chant as many rounds as you can chant in one go. But please don't forget to finish your minimum 16 rounds. How a spirit can be bad if it doesn't have a mind? Please explain, Hare Krishna. So the spirit has got, spirit is pure, but in the material world, even though gross body can be left behind, the spirit soul moves with subtle body, mind, intelligence, and false ego. So thus, if they have got good mind, pure mind, they are called good spirits, which are called pramathas in Bhagavatam. And if they are wicked-minded, then they are bad spirits. So mind is always there with the living entity in material world unless one becomes liberated. Mind, intelligence, false ego, the subtle body carries soul from one gross body to another gross body. What happens to Tulsi ji when the plant dries? Where the pure soul of Tulsi ji goes? Tulsi is always eternal associate of Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, real life incidents are too scary. I did not tell really scary incidents. They are exactly like the horror movies which you see. We have not discussed anything scary. Gajanan ji, Hare Krishna. Sudha ji, Hare Krishna. Black magic harm us as they are negative evil forces. How to avoid us from such people? Does Krishna protect his devotees from black magic? Yeah, we just discussed. He will protect if we follow all the regulations strictly and purely. Sudha ji, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, we are born with a karma and few people try to change destiny using tantric practices. What happens when we try to change our destiny like that? Will it also be added as karma? Yes, by tantric practices, you cannot change. By any practice, you cannot change your karma. It adds more karma to our life. Hare Krishna, why are devotees harmed, tortured, killed by other communities? So demons are naturally envious. This has always been there. There are devotees and there are demons. Demons are always envious of the devotees and want to harm. Harmless child like Prahlad Maharaj. He was so much tortured by his father. Devotee like all the devotees of our movement, we see how they are being tortured in so many places. That is the nature of Tamoguna. They are very antagonistic to Sattvic people. Mahadev is known as Bhutnath. Ghost demons are Ganas of Shiva. Why Tantrics worship Shiva to gain siddhis as Shiva invented the science of Tantra? Why Tantrics not just they worship Shiva, they worship Kali, they worship other spirits also. And it is not that Tantrics only do this black thing. Actually, Tantras, people misunderstand Tantras. So Tantra, Srila Prabhupada explains, Tantra means expansion. Just like the Vedic aphorisms are there, Vedanta Sutra is there, Janmadiyase Yataha. So the Vedic knowledge can be either compressed or it can be expanded. So when it is compressed, it is called Sutra, like Vedanta Sutra. When it is expanded, it is called Tantra. So there are transcendental Tantras like Vaishnava Tantra, that is Narad Pancharatra, other Pancharatras. And Tantras means a set of rules and regulations that we have to follow. Expansion of Vedic knowledge. They come under Vedas. All these white sciences, black sciences, everything is coming from Vedas only. So there are Vaishnava Tantras which are transcendental. This Narad Pancharatra is our Vaishnava Tantra. All the rules and regulations that we follow, wearing these neck beads, chanting on the beads, harekrishnamahamantra, doing deity worship, circumambulating, pouring water on Tulsi Maharani, so many things that we follow. They are strictly as per the Narad Pancharatra principles. So anything which expands, that is called Tantra. There are Sattvic Tantras, Rajasic and Tamasic Tantras. So today people who follow Tamasic Tantras only, we think that they are actually Tantrics or knower of the Tantras, but that is not fact. We also follow Tantras. Prabhuji, thank you for the wonderful class on black magic. The class was such an eye-opener and made us realize again the importance of holy names. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for realizing. So actually everything, we have to realize everything depends on holy name. But the potency of the holy name depends upon our faith. Spiritual life is nothing but how much we have advanced in our faith. Ye yathamam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajami aham. Krishna tells, as I surrender, as you surrender, so do I reciprocate. If I have faith in Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then Hare Krishna Mahamantra will reciprocate like anything. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Nam Namakari Bahudha Nij Sarva Shaktis. Krishna has invested all his potencies in the name. So all the potencies of Krishna are present in the name. The name is Krishna himself. There is no difference between the personality and Krishna. So if we chant with this faith, then there is altogether different, very advanced result by chanting. But still, if we do not have faith, we should keep on chanting. This chanting will purify us and faith will increase. The more we have faith, the more we get result. So we should not neglect our chanting. Everything is chanting. Chanting and hearing it with rapt attention. This brings all the spiritual advancement. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I am able to understand I am spirit soul theoretically, but how to understand it practically, Prabhu? So we have to follow these rules and regulations, what we are following of devotional service nicely. So this knowledge is realized in the heart when we come to Shuddha Sattva platform. Just like a person who is dreaming cannot understand his real situation. He has to wake up. There has to be interference. Some sound has to come from the real world. We hear alarm clock and then we wake up. In a similar fashion, we have to hear Hare Krishna Mahamantra very, very nicely, follow the rules and regulations very nicely, then we will wake up to understand our real identity. So by following rules and regulations nicely, we come to Shuddha Sattva Guna. And then this self-realization happens. So please wait patiently, follow the rules and regulations nicely. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, how to increase enthusiasm in chanting? By association of devotees who are enthusiastic in chanting. So that is why living with devotees is very, very important. Otherwise, whatever enthusiasm we have, that also will go away. Living with devotees, Prabhupada tells, is very important to maintain enthusiasm. So please try to do it. Hare Krishna, my son who is good in studies suddenly failed in his performance in college education. I doubt someone has done some black magic out of jealousy. What is the remedy for him? So failure may not always be because of black magic, but if at all you think that it is because of black magic, please try to make your son and your good self also completely surrender to Krishna without any hesitation. So try to meet the devotees and try to follow Krishna consciousness perfectly without any misgiving that it can bring any kind of loss in our life. No, there is no loss in Krishna consciousness. There is spiritual advancement and material advancement also. Materially also devotees are kept very, very comfortable at all times. So I request, please chant minimum 16 rounds, honor only Krishna Prasadam, morning and evening do Kirtan and read and discuss Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. In this way, try to surrender completely to Krishna and Krishna will remove all such impediments. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, sorry I joined in the class little late. No problem, you can hear from the beginning again. Can one material body have two souls? Yes, material body has got unlimited souls. Every cell has got a soul. And there are two souls, soul and super soul, which are situated in the heart, who are Kshetrajna, knower of this entire body. So there are so many souls, just like in a room, in a house. There are so many people. There are insects, there are lizards, mosquitoes, spiders, microbes. All these souls are living within the house. But there is one person who is owner, proprietor of the house. Similarly, we are the controller. God is supreme controller. We have got some control as long as we live in this body, and it is sanctioned by the supreme controller. We are tenants in this body. So we are the primary soul of this body. Otherwise, this body has got many, many souls along with Paramatma, the super soul. And in this context, I think you want to ask, what do ghosts actually do? They also start sitting next to us, the individual soul in the body. So Prabhupada explains, no, they don't enter the body exactly, but they capture the body. Prabhuji, how much is one round of chanting? So if we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, this is called once chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and we chant on beads. On every bead, we have to chant these 16 words. And the beads that we use contain 108 small sets of beads. And when you complete this, all this entire cycle of 108 beads, that is called one round of chanting. So such 16 rounds we are supposed to chant in a day minimum by surrendering to a spiritual master to make our spiritual life successful. Prabhu, regarding black magic is like a person situated in self-realization is known as yogi, and if it attracts towards material entanglement, that is for black magic. I'm sorry, I could not. Can you please reframe your question? Regarding black magic is like a person situated in self-realization known as yogi. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, physical health is not good condition. It's difficult to follow sadhana. But when we see pastimes of pure devotees, how they are able to remember Krishna in whatsoever condition, yes, that is called pure devotee. Pure devotee is not affected by any material energy, what to speak of these ghosts and other things. So if we also become pure devotee, the material energy does not act upon us. This body may follow some course as per the laws of nature. Pure devotee can try to control that also, but devotee does not want to exert such influence because he is anyway unaffected. Why to unnecessarily lord over the laws? So he remains completely unaffected by physical changes or the changes of mind. He is always transcendently blissful. So that is why our bodies can anytime get into bad shape. If we survive till old age, definitely we are going to have a very, very bad shape, and we cannot make much spiritual advancement in old age unless we are very, very fortunate. That is why Prahlad Maharaj tells, so long the body is stout and strong, one should endeavor to advance in spiritual life. A good body, fit body, strong mind is very much required for spiritual advancement. हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, मेरे घर में भी ब्लैक मैजिक जैसा सिचुएशन है. किसी ने मेरे भैया को कुछ खिला दिया है और ये बात कुछ दिन पहले ही पता लगी. वो मेंटली इल है प्रभु जी, प्लीज़ हेल्प मी. यस, अगर किसी ने खिला दिया है देन इट एक्ट्स वेरी वेरी स्ट्रांगली. सो आई रिक्वेस्ट दैट प्लीज़ बहुत ही अच्छे से आप चैंटिंग कीजिए एंड फॉलो ऑल द फास्ट्स वेरी नाइसली. स्पेशली फॉलो द एकादशी फास्ट्स. ट्राई टू फास्ट निर्जला, चैंट एंटायर डे. जस्ट डिपेंड ऑन चैंटिंग, चैंट एंटायर डे. Morning to evening, tell your brother, and all of you keep on chanting. He should chant 64 rounds, 70 rounds, 100 rounds. Keep on chanting entire day. And Krishna will bless and we'll be able to solve the problem. So please meet the devotees and follow all the practices. Have only Krishna Prasadam in house. Do not eat anything which consists of non-veg food or eggs or anything else. Just eat food without onion garlic which is offered to Krishna. Take only Krishna Prasadam, do nice Sankirtan. By Sankirtan, all these things, they go away. And there are many such instances. Devotees entered a house in, I think it was in Rome. And the ghost was very powerful. He was throwing the chairs around and in their house, they belonged to Christian faith. They were having some paintings or some pictures of some bishops. They started falling as the devotees entered. And but devotees were very confident. They chanted very nicely. Initially, so many such troubles, turmoils increased. The drawers of the table started coming out and flying here and there. But devotees continued chanting. And the girl who was possessed started displaying different symptoms. She was pinned to the wall as if somebody is holding her from the neck. But they continued chanting. Everybody started chanting. They got permanent relief. Similarly, devotees, when in the 70s, they got John Lennon's house, one of the Beatles in London. So there one couple was staying. And this couple, where they were staying, this place was haunted. When Prabhupada entered, he just told this place is haunted. There are ghosts everywhere. They're in the stables. So many ghosts are there. He asked the disciples, you do not see? Disciples told, no, Prabhupada, we are not able to see it. So then this couple, they reported also that, yes, actually we are not able, we are having sleepless nights. Every night we feel somebody is dragging a body or dragging, and with chains rattling and all these sounds we are hearing, we are very scared. So at night we cannot sleep, at daytime we are sleepy, we are afraid we will lose our job, please help us. So when the devotees told Prabhupada, Prabhupada told devotees to chase the ghosts away. So devotees told, how Prabhupada, how do we do it? He told, just do nice kirtan over there. So then the devotees did nice kirtan, nice loud kirtan for 3-4 hours, and next day the problem was solved. It no longer remained. So in this way, Prabhupada tells, where holy names of Krishna are chanted, ghosts and other ghostly species cannot live. So in this way, I request that you may call some devotees, invite some devotees to do kirtan, and all of you also should do kirtan as much as possible. The problem is severe. Try to do as much kirtan as possible, chanting as possible throughout the day. Keep fast on all the Ekadashis, appearance day, disappearance day, and the problem by Krishna's mercy will be solved. Hare Krishna Prabhu, is this black magic described in Atharva Veda? So we have not read the Vedas because Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, Traigunya Vishya Veda Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna. Vedas mainly talk about 3 modes of nature. So we read Vedanta, the Srimad Bhagavatam, the final crux of all the Vedic knowledge. And but yes, people tell that in Atharva Veda such spells are mentioned. But we have not heard it from Prabhupada, so I cannot say with confidence. Hare Krishna Gitika ji. Where Pitru Davyatas live? Pitrus live in the Pitralok. Pitralok is the Yamlok, where Yamraj is living. The Pitras also live on the same planet. And 1 day on planet is equal to 1 month on our earthly planet. So those who are very much attached to the family members, they go and live on the Pitraloka. And if the Pitras and sisters are living there, you are attached to them because they have a very, very long duration of life over there. And moreover, 1 day there is equal to 1 month here. You also, if you are attached to them, you can go and join them in Pitraloka, provided you have sufficient pious credits. That is why we do Pindadan also. It is to relieve the ancestors who have got trapped in ghostly species or in hell. And also, if the Pitras who are living there, they want to continue, they will be able to live there as long as this Pindadan is happening by their family members. So thus it is very, very necessary and obligation, because we are obliged, because of forefathers we are existing, we have got this human body. We are supposed to perform this Shraddha ceremony and Pindadan so that they can continue living on the Pitraloka. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I need to take care of my in-laws and parents. In that case, I miss my devotee association. How to handle the situation, Prabhuji? So, please discuss with the devotees. They will understand your case better and they will give some practical solutions. Hare Krishna Prabhu, I have heard that we should not cut nails and hairs on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Are there any reason or their superstition? No, we don't follow this. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I need to take care of my in-laws. Okay, I explained. Hare Krishna Prabhu, since I am working human, sometimes I can't possible to sit and chant. I used to do while cooking and cleaning puja items. Is that good? Please help me. Yes, please chant 24 hours. And if you sit and chant with great attention, that is very good. Chanting with attention is required, minimum 16 rounds every day. So those minimum 16 rounds on beats, try to do with full concentration. Apart from that also, entire day we should keep on chanting. We are doing the chores, we are cleaning the utensils, laundry, anything we are doing. Just keep on chanting Hare Krishna. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Sometimes people perform black magic on foods by saying it prasadam. So what to do if it is doubtful? So don't take it. Prabhuji, my husband always feels disoriented and disturbed in his office. He feels as if some people are conspiring against him. What is the solution? We just discussed solution. Please surrender to Krishna. Don't hesitate. Follow all the rules and regulations nicely and you will get all relief. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Does black magic have potency to bewilder person from the path of spirituality? Yes, all such impediments can be put. But if person is strong, we are determined. If we are not determined, we will get disturbed by even small things. Prabhu, I am at home. I am not in devotee association. How can I do this thing? I left my chanting. I could not read. So yes, if you live in devotee association, you will advance very, very fast. But still, change of place should not affect your determination. So such small impediments also can affect us. Oh, Prabhu, I was very tired. I could not read that day. This should not happen. So if the person is weak, he will be affected by anything. But if the person is determined, no power in the world can stop one from following Krishna consciousness. It all depends on determination, Prabhupada tells. Is Sankirtan performing powerful than removing exorcism? Obviously, Sankirtan means chanting the holy names of Krishna. He's Krishna only, chanting the names of Krishna. My friend got a painting in her home. Since then, her family getting sick and their financial situation is getting weak. So please remove the painting. Put Krishna, Srila Prabhupada's painting. For many people, the time around 2010 was a time of huge spiritual attack. Okay. Sometimes people perform black magic on foods. We just discussed this thing. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, due to black magic finding difficult to practice KC, not able to get up early, disturbed sleep, stomach disorder, etc. Is there anything you suggest to reduce the effect of black magic? Yes, please follow Krishna consciousness very, very sincerely, all the rules and regulations. Don't do any kind of sense gratification and perform austerities, have a very simple life, get up in the Brahm Muhurta, chant as much as possible throughout the day. Please surrender completely unto Krishna. Then it will be fixed. So sometimes if people do not have faith in Krishna, then we suggest them, if they are not able to, because unless you are very pure in your practice, you may not be able to derive effect out of it. Then we suggest sometimes to visit, just like you have some doctors. These are subtle doctors, you can visit them. But we have to understand they cannot give us permanent relief. And sometimes such people are dangerous also. So they will remove your ghost, they'll put their ghost upon you and they will control you. So sometimes their intention is just to control. So we have to be very, very careful if we are approaching such people at all. But we have to understand we have got permanent relief. Let us surrender to Krishna. Some difficulties they come, let us tolerate. So thank you so much for all your questions. Any further questions? Because this topic was suggested by someone in the previous session. If you want to have sessions on some particular topics, you can please feel free to write in the comment section. And the more is the requirement for a topic, the earlier we will take it up. So meanwhile, please keep on chanting Harekrishnamahamantra with all seriousness. We'll meet you next week again. Thank you so much for hearing. Hare Krishna.